Hey, it's Laser Eye Philosophy here. I'm going to go over determinism today. The theory that, well, not really theory, truth that Robert Sapolsky made a bit more mainstream, that everything is predetermined, predestined, perfect cause and effect. Free will is something we believe we have. It's just a perspective. It works for the majority of people because they need it. It's comfort. Um, you also think that you're in control of your life, but all you have to do is look at, say, a birth chart, astrology, astronomy. If you're able to accurately predict the pattern of the constellations 2,000 years, 3,000 years before today, and 3,000 years in the future, it seems like it's pretty determined. Um, I'm going to use the seven Hermetic laws to explain this. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, uh, cause and effect, and genderism. Uh, Not going to go into the seven too much right now, but cause and effect being the main one. Polarity, rhythm, vibration. Um, we know there's an ebb and flow. The moon, once again, astronomy, astrology. Uh, if science needs cause and effect to exist to create a hypothesis, to then carry out the experiment, have a constant, have variables. Um, we literally could not do any form of science if there wasn't a true cause and effect. And the fact that we would believe that, say, in religion, prayer, miracles, uh, God conforming to one person's prayer or idea of what it is to be holy or what it is to be a follower and saved and all that stuff, then we have to literally negate every other cause and effect that's ever existed. So now we're just living in a world uh, where anything can happen at any time. And I usually use this one example. You go back to your house, and is there a whale in your living room? No, cause and effect. Um, the idea that one day there could be a whale in your living room is like the miracle. It's never been proven to exist. People will use the idea of healing, the idea of miracles, like, something happened that shouldn't have happened, and it's practically impossible, so therefore something spiritual happened. These are usually exaggerations, outright lies. The prosperity preachers healing people, giving people, oh, look at my bank account has a bunch of money, and I've been healed from blindness. It hasn't happened. It's a stage. The rest is a stage as well. Science today, pseudoscience, they do the same thing. You got to be careful with um, scientific theories, physics, string theory, and there's like 500 other ones. So yeah, we have to be really careful to use cause and effect properly. The determinism, which we are, and it it adds value to our life. It doesn't go, well, I was destined to be a criminal, so therefore I should be a criminal. Those people that are less than, that struggle with, that don't understand, they're not asking these questions anyway. People who are asking about determinism and whether or not we have free will are truly interested and they want the answer. So it's not like a big thing where you can go, well, if we told somebody that their life was going to end up like this anyway, they would just do it more. Uh, Not true. They're not even, they don't care. Uh, so, cause and effect, very important. Everything is cause and effect, a perfect cause and effect. Um, just like the sine wave, any wave, light waves, sound wave, we know there's going to be a crest and we know there's going to be a trough. It's how the wave exists. There's different amplitudes, right? But nonetheless, it makes a sound. It makes a color. We know how it works because it's going to work the same way every time. Uh, Determinism just goes, we're paying really close attention to our life, and we see the ebbs and flows of it. We see the ups and downs. We see the pattern. We see the river winding from the top of the mountain, carrying down the sand particles and all that stuff. Then at the bottom, you have all these sedimentary rocks. They get compressed. They get pushed down in the earth. They turn into a metamorphic rock. And then, they turn into, as they get pushed down into a hotter, denser location, they, melt. They become igneous. They turn into something different. And at some point, somebody picks up that rock and they, put it in their yard or something, right? There's a cycle to everything. That one was just off the top of my head. It has no value at all. I'm not trying to use that as a spiritual story or anything. Everything has a place. Look at it, use it the way it is. Don't make things fancy. Don't try to create a theory just because it doesn't fit your observation. If it doesn't fit your observation, you have to look at it from a different point of view. The observation's not wrong, just the problem you're trying to solve might not be the most direct or the most plausible. As above, so below. If we can, the law of correspondence, if we can use the pattern of the stars and perfectly predict and look back into history and see exactly what the ancient Aztecs and Mayans and Egyptians were looking at, the future is also just as predictable. Our calendar is the thing that's not predictable. History is not predictable. I just learned the other day that our calendar, our the Gregorian calendar, based on the solar cycle, based on the Catholic Church, the years were just guessed at. People had reference points, whether it was a leader or an event or a war, and then that event had other events before it where people used another one for recording time for a certain amount of time. You go to think about it for a second and you realize how accurate is history at all. On top of it, victors write the story, right? It's a persuasion to see them as the ultimate victor, the savior, the king, the divine order that God has orchestrated for that kingdom or that nation. Everything's biased. That's why every culture has the same origin story, the same king story, the same divinity story, the same symbols. Everything does come from one. Everything will return to one. That's the idea of mentalism, right? It all is one. All is mind, all is one, all is the same symbols. Otherwise, there's going to be a freaking whale in your living room one day. There's not. Look at it how it is. If you don't understand it right away, move on. It's good too. I'm sure there's different things you can do. Go for a cold shower. Go for a run. We get obsessed. We humans get obsessed about the things that we think we have control over. We don't. Live life, enjoy it, problem solve in between. And yeah, don't want to make it too long and too serious today, so I think that's about it. And we'll maybe continue on more Hermetic laws and maybe Easter and starting in the East and ending in the West, Kali Yuga here. Anyway, enjoy.